Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jack and Glen channel. I am Glen from the Jack and Glen channel. I wanted to drop a little video on Justin and Alexis from Married at First Sight. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. If you missed the full review of Married at First Sight, make sure you check that out as well from this past week. But I want to talk a little bit about Justin and Alexis. Some things that I saw that I didn't point out in our review. You know, one of the biggest issues that we saw this week, or even go back to last week, what you saw was that she has a strong personality. There's nothing wrong with having a strong personality, but when your strong personality shuts down your spouse's personality or shuts down your spouse, because she came at him. She like the high five situation was one of the first things that we saw, and she called my man corny, right? You don't know me from Adam. We just met. We're just getting to know each other. And I understand you verbalizing what you do not like, but you can do that without being insulting. You can do that without calling me giving high fives corny. Because again, look at the situation. He wasn't for sure if he could give you a hug. He wasn't for sure if he could kiss you. He wasn't for sure what he could do. So a high five to him was the safest thing that he could do. Right? It was the safest thing that he could do without trying to invade your space or invade her space. And so he wanted to give the high five, which I thought was okay. But for her to come back and shoot it down like she did, all that, can you stop high fiving me? That's corny. And you didn't provide other options, right? And you didn't provide another option saying, you know what, don't high five me, but you can. It's okay for you to give me a hug. Give him some reassurance. That's okay. You know, it's okay. Don't high five me. I don't like to high five, but hey, give me a hug. It's okay for you to hug me. It's okay. And one of the things that I didn't appreciate from Justin was he just said, oh, okay, no problem. Then he should have came back. Here comes where the communication comes in, and it's for both sides. He should have came and said, okay, if I don't high five you, how do you want me to express that I care? How do you want me to express that that I want to be with you, or that I accept it, or that we agree? He should have been like, hey, is it okay if I give you a hug? Because now you got, remember, they're just meeting each other, so you're creating the boundaries that are in place. So he has to create boundaries by asking, and she has to create boundaries by saying what she doesn't like without being insulting. Then we get to fast forward to this week, right? This week we on the dance floor, and they're on the dance floor, and she talking about her neck is being too, looking at him as being too high, or her neck is hurting, and he comes down a little bit. But again, you wanted a tall man. So what did you expect when you have a tall man? I know she didn't expect a 6'8" man, right? Someone who was 6'8", but she expected someone that was taller than her. So we adjust. He adjusted. He comes down. Not too much of an issue with that. But then they're on the dance floor. She's talking about kissing, right? And she didn't want to kiss him at first. Then she's like, all right, you can kiss me. He is really touchy-feely, right? He's really emotional. He's really in tune with his sensitive side. And he really wants to embrace that type of thing. And so she was, as they're dancing, he confides in her, right? He like, when she asked, when the last time you kissed a woman? And he was like, a year and a half ago. And he decides to go ahead and let her know then and there on the dance floor, because it's an intimate moment, right? It is an intimate moment between her husband and wife, these two, Justin and Alexis. It's an intimate moment between them. Yes, they're microphone, but nobody else at the reception or nobody else at the wedding reception can hear what's going on. So he decides to confide in her. He decides to tell her one of his issues, or why that he's been celibate. And not a few seconds later, she broadcasts not just to her girlfriends, but she broadcasts to the whole wedding, everybody at the reception, that he's celibate. She yells it across the room. She has no coof, and he may not have been embarrassed. They didn't really show his face. I would have been embarrassed. Maybe didn't want anybody to know that I was celibate right at the time, and maybe he doesn't care. But it shows how, as what it showed to me was that I can't tell you anything, right? I can't confide into you. I can't give you a secret. As a man, we want to know that we're able to be in a safe place. As a man, you want to know that you're able to trust your spouse to be able to keep some of the things inside, keep some of the things within house, right? And this is where I said this relationship may end up going south, because she can't confide. She doesn't respect him as a now. Of course, she shouldn't. They're only a couple hours in, right? But you should have enough respect to say, you know what, this is my husband. He's confided this into me, and she was more or less in this case, selfish. She was saying, you know, hey, I hope he does not do that with me because I want some of him. I want some of this this man. I want some of his. I want sex. So he's not celibate with me, which to me was like a weird statement. Of course, he's not going to be celibate for you. He's being celibate for a reason, right? Most people being celibate until they get married. So now, for her even to make this statement, oh, I hope he doesn't refuse me or not give it to me. He's waiting to be married, and she didn't even go into any detail or deeper discussion that we saw. Like, why were you celibate? You know, is there a reason? Because is it a medical condition? Is it that you're tired that you ran through a lot of women, or is it because that you really want to find the true love of the person that you want to be with, or the person that you want to embrace this with, or you tired of just giving it to anybody and you want to be meaningful? We saw this with Elijah Wan, right? In this past season, Elijah Wan stopped having sex leading up to his marriage, and even while in the marriage with Katina, he didn't give her any sex. Didn't have any sex until well after decision day. But again, she didn't even give him a chance to explain. She just broadcasted it to the world that he's celibate. One thing that bothered me about Justin, which shows that this may be his MO, he never said anything. He didn't say, you know, I didn't like that. He didn't never check her. He didn't say, you know what, man, why did you say that? You know, you could have kept that to yourself. We didn't see none of that. He could have been now, which leads me to believe, as a viewer, not having any other context, is that she's going to be able to say what she wants to say and do what she wants to do in this relationship, and he won't say a word. He won't be able to check her because of his nature, that he wants to be liked by everybody, by his nature that he wants people to appreciate him. And his brother said that a little bit in the previous episode, that Justin loves hard and he throws all his heart into it. But as of right now, she may break his heart. And if she breaks his heart, he's going to be devastated. We know that from the last situation when he was supposed to get married. He was devastated for a long time. He needs to guard himself. He needs to be more vocal. He needs to be more verbal. He needs to be able to say, you know what, Alexis, that wasn't cool. I didn't like that. The reason that I'm celibate is because this, and this, because you're my wife and I want to be able to share it with you, and I didn't want to give it for anybody else. It could have been for religious reasons, right? It could be to the fact that he found God, he found Christ, he realized that I don't want to be able to give it out there to any and everybody. I was saving it for my spouse. It's amazing, and it's different from when a man is trying to save himself from a woman trying to save herself. People look at the man a little bit funny, and she looked at him as being weird and being strange and being something different because the man is trying to say he's trying to be celibate. It's okay for men to be celibate. It's okay for men to be able to respect and to treat their woman that they want to be with as a woman. It's okay for women to be celibate. To me, she looked at it as like, dog, a man celibate? Like, what's going on? There's an issue and a problem. Even on that after show, when Keisha Knight Pulliam brought it up, she didn't show any remorse for her comment and her statement. I believe it was Stacia on the after party show. Like, girl, you said that at the wedding? Like, I would have never said that. Yeah, most women would have never said that. Most women would have never outed their man. And maybe because she's hung around a lot of men in her life, and nothing wrong with hanging around men, and she's a tomboy, that she doesn't feel the emotions and the need that, hey, you're a man, you're supposed to suck it up. It was just a joke, or I just made a comment. Again, she doesn't know her husband as of yet. Justin, as we know, Justin is a sensitive guy, and this may really affect them in the way that she talks, in the way that she brings attention to issues in their relationship moving forward, may be broadcasted for everyone else to see. And again, Justin he needs to step up and need to communicate with her and letting her know, hey, I like giving high fives, or it's okay for me to be celibate, but can we keep some of the things in-house and at least express the way that he feels to her in a way that he does not come off, I don't want to use the word weak, or he doesn't come off of, basically comes off weak, but he as a man be saying, you know what, I need you to speak to me like this, or we need to talk like this, or we need to keep things in house. And I know that it's just a wedding, so all the boundaries and the rules of engagement have not been set yet. Hopefully, when they move forward, he's able to do that, and so that relationship could be more successful. I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping that they can be successful. But right now, she looks like she's going to be the alpha in this relationship. Hey, let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Once again, make sure you check out our rest of our videos on Married at First Sight Season 15. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Will Alexis run this relationship, or will Justin find his voice in the relationship? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Bye-bye.